This is, without a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion, the best playbook on offense in Madden 26. I am talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Duval. And in this video, I am going to be breaking down 5 of my favorite plays for you guys, so that way you can start absolutely dominating folks on the virtual gridiron here in Madden 26. Now, there are a lot of amazing playbooks in this game. Don't get me wrong. Several of them are super, super good. Shout out to the EA team for improving these playbooks the way they have the last couple of years. They have done an outstanding job. But as I said, in my humble opinion, the Jacksonville Jaguars takes the cake. It is by far one of the toughest offenses to stop because there are so many amazing formations that you can run, 6 or 7 of which you don't even need to use other formations of. That's how good this playbook is. This playbook is so good, boys, that I actually went ahead about a week ago. I was running the Los Angeles Chargers playbook before this, which, don't get me wrong, is a very, very good playbook. But then I decided I was going to switch to this playbook kind of on a dime just because of how insanely good it looked. And it led me to my first ever 10-0 Mutt Gauntlet last weekend. That's how good this playbook is. I'm telling you guys right now, if I was in that Chargers playbook last week, I would not have gone 10-0 in the gauntlet. But we were in the Jags playbook and we were absolutely putting belt to ass. So that is a disclaimer of how good I feel this playbook is, because there's just so many great formations. And I wish I could break down this entire playbook for you guys, but we're only going to be breaking down a handful of plays for you guys. Now, the name of the game in Madden is audibling around. It's been very, very popular the last 3, 4, 5 years now. Why just run one formation for the entire game when you can literally sprinkle in 5, 6 formations and utilize some of the best plays out of those? That is why you see so many players, especially the comp level guys, switching formations pretty much every single play because they know that their playbooks are that good. So the formation that I start off in before I start to audible around to others is this one right here, the cluster halfback strong. And for very good reasons. This formation is littered with amazing routes, specifically the sharp cutting post route and the sharp cutting corner route. There's also a litany of other great plays in this formation as well. The play that I'm going to be breaking down first, it is actually a bonus play. So we're technically breaking down 6 plays for you guys here in this video. You are welcome. The bonus play that we're going to be breaking down is going to be the play you see on your far right, the motion mesh. Now, for the simplicity of the video and for you guys watching at home, I'm only going to be breaking down one setup out of this play. That way we don't try to complicate things. I'm just going to show you guys what my favorite setup is from each of these plays. So my favorite setup out of the play motion mesh cluster halfback strong looks something like this. As you guys can see here, we have our very infamous short corner route. Short and sharp cutting to the sidelines. This is one of the deadliest routes in the game. Now, once again, if you literally just put a curl flat from your slot cornerback, it is going to bag this route. That is literally the counter. But it's still an amazing route to absolutely cook with, especially against pretty much every zone, every coverage in the game, aside from that stock curl flat. So once again, we are going to stem down this route by hitting the Y button on our Xbox controller or triangle on PlayStation. Bringing up your receiver menu. You're going to hit B, which is in this case is Matthew Golden. We're going to select B. We're going to hold down our left bumper or L1 on PlayStation to custom stem. And we're going to custom stem him all the way down. You can use the D-pad, you can use the left stick if you wanted to. This is all the further he can be stemmed down. After that, I'm going to go to our slot receiver here, Xavier Worthy, and I'm going to put him on a streak. Next, we're going to go to Big Cock Brock, aka Brock Bowers, and we're going to put him on a post route. And lastly, we're going to put our other receiver here on the left, which is Dante Thornton Jr. You're going to put him on a simple little drag route. And the play looks like this. A very popular route combination for the last couple of years here in Madden, and is also very popular in college football as well. So our main read on this play is going to be the stem down corner route, followed by probably the post route and then the drag underneath. Now this Y route here, this little swing route, you can block him If you can block the running back if you would like. I like to keep this route on the field because it does a very, very good job pulling flat zones further out to the sideline, which is going to in turn open up the drag route way more. And I'll show an example of that here in a second. So snap the ball. Our first read is going to be Matthew Golden. And once again, a cloud flat is not going to defend that whatsoever. You're going to get easy yards from that play. Once again, here's the setup. Something like this. And we just look and see. B is open. Passing it straight to the outside, rack catch it up the sideline, and you're going to be picking up chunk yardage. As you can see, my bunch, my cluster is aligned with the cluster all the way to the wide side of the field. That is the most ideal way to run this play. It's also pretty ideal to run pretty much every formation with more receivers to the wide side of the field. Just a thought. Now you're going to see what I'm talking about when we have the drag from the back side of the formation get really open. We're going to shade down our coverage this time. We're going to play hard flats. So this swing route is actually going to help once again pull those routes further to the sideline, and our drag route this time, if the corner route is being blanketed, our drag route is going to do a phenomenal job of just getting in such a wide open space underneath hook zones and in between flat zones as well. So we'll do our setup just like this. Once again, there it is, and we'll drag Thornton. Here you're going to see that hook zone played pretty well. Let's try this out against actually cover 3 on defense. And we'll actually shade down here as well. Now we have hard flats. Once again, we do this. There's our setup. Snap the ball. And look at Thornton. Gets into a very good spot right there. Once again, that hook curl is playing that pretty well, I should say. He's playing very, very well against that. A lot of the time, that player that you see there is going to be your opponent's user, and he is going to be trying to look to user something else over the middle, and then we hit him underneath, and the wide open drag route is there, and you're picking up good chunks of yardage with just a simple drag route. Now, the tight end post route is probably the third option on this play, if I'm being honest here. Right here, he's not really open. You hit your drag underneath as we get absolutely screamed at. You love to see that. But once again, you're going from stem down corner, to drag, to streak. Those are your main progressions on this play. Again, there it is. Gets into a really, really good spot where there's not very much traffic around. And once again, it's going to be your opponent's user most of the time as over the middle of the field. That drag route, once again, is a back killer. It absolutely is. They're going to have to devote a lot of attention to that. And when they start to devote a lot of attention to the drag route, you know you're probably going to have your stem down corner route butt naked. Run it here once again. There you can see just the deep zones don't stand a chance, man. They're going to have to switch stick that, or they're going to have to put a curl flat or some sort of purple zone out there to be able to stop motion mesh. Now we're going to get into the actual plays, top 5 plays out of the Jacksonville Jaguars playbook. Coming in at number 5 is going to be the ever so popular gun doubles flex Y out close, and is the play right beside me, flood H posts. Once again, the name of this play is the good old sharp cutting corner route. But also on this play, as you can see, we have a sharp cutting post route. Makes this play absolutely deadly. It was a very good play in Madden 25. It's even more deadly here in Madden 26. Now, once again, I like to have my running back side with the 2 wide receivers flexed out here on the wide side of the field. You could technically run this play from either hash, so you could technically flip it as well, and you'd be just fine. I like to have the sharp cutting corner route with more field space. So that way it's able to get open better against either man or zone. But take a look here. The setup that I'm going to run is going to be, once again, we stem down that B route all the way as far as we can, just like in the last play. I'm going to drag the tight end. I'm going to comeback route the X receiver, or you can technically just leave him on his curl. And then the running back is optional. You can leave him blocking if you suspect a blitz. You can send him out on a table route and out route. Those are probably the only 2 routes that I would put him on. I wouldn't put him on a streak or anything because you'd risk having too much traffic over the middle with the post route. So I would do out route or table route if I do end up sending the running back out. And once again, our main read here is going to be the stem down corner route. This is against man coverage, and oh my God, Xavier Worthy put Darrelle Revis, one of the best DBs in NFL history, put him on skates. We scored against man coverage in 1 play. So once again, stem down B, drag A, comeback route optional on X. We'll leave him on the curl. And then the optional decision of table route, out route, or leave blocking the running back. Once again, Consistency is few and far between here with certain routes. As you saw the last example, he fried him right time, didn't really fry him as well. We'll run it again here just to see if we can get the same result as the first. And right there, boom. Chunk yardage against man, chunk yardage against cover 2 zones, cover 4 as well. They're running that man coverage. Guess what? They're worried about that stem down corner on the right. Well, guess what? You hit him with the backside drag. Well, that was actually pretty good by the CPU right there. Once again, user is going to be over of the middle of the field as well. They're going to have to respect both of these routes on the right here for the drag and the stem down corner. Just look at that. Brock Bowers, best tight end in MUT right there, getting wide open. Chunk yardage. Once again, guess what? These first 2 example boys, what are the 2 routes that we have ran that have been the back-breaking routes of both these plays? You noticing a trend here? Stem down corner and drags. These are the 2 most back-breaking routes in this game right now. Crazy, right? Insane. Man coverage, don't stand a chance. Unless they're like absolutely glued to him, which right there, that was actually pretty good. Now, once again, we have our sharp cutting post route over the middle of the field, which is also going to torch man coverage. There you can see, boom, Dante Thornton. That's a 72 overall receiver cooking in man coverage. Stats don't really matter a whole lot except for speed. That's an argument for another day. Now, one option you could potentially do here with this is you could potentially stem down Thornton all the way if you wanted to. This is something I don't really do, but we can see how it works. And there you can see, look at that. Well, shit, you could stem him all the way down and basically get a speed boost on your post route. Pretty nuts, right? Pretty nuts. So you could technically run like something like this. How the hell is someone gonna stop this in man coverage? Look at this. Threw it a little bit too early there. User error, my bad. My fault right there. Shouldn't have thrown it that early, but yeah, as you can see, this play, yeah, it's super deadly. Super, super deadly if you do something like this. You wait. Yellow pass there by Baker Mayfield. Hey, it was still open though. Man coverage does not stand an absolute damn chance against flood H post. We'll show this against zone really quick just to show how good it actually is. Once again, here's a look at cover 2. We can do something like this. I probably would not stem down the post route on this setup here. I'd only do it to begin with because it just takes a little bit too long in terms of like pre-snap stuff to get it all set up. There you can see drag route. Should have thrown it a little bit sooner. Once again, like you're seeing a lot of user error here in this video, boys. I apologize for that. It's been a long week. We're making this video here late night. So there you can see drag route is just butt naked. You're picking like just chunk yardage with the simplest routes in this game. You do not have to complicate things whatsoever. I actually want to see what the stem down post route looks like against cover 2. Oh, yeah, look at that. You stemmed it. I mean, shit. That's dangerous because you might throw a pick on that against someone who has a good user. But against cover 2, look at that. You stem it all the way down and it gets underneath all the yellow zones. You just got to throw it in a good spot. Now, once again, if the user devotes their attention towards the sideline with the stem down corner, or they use the drag route, or they use the running back, well, guess what? You can go ahead and you can hit them with that quick hitting post route over the middle. And you're picking up 10, 15 yards against a cover 2 just like that. They're going to have to really have an elite switch stick to be able to guard pretty much everything on this play. At number 4, we're going to break down a play once again out of the cluster formation. And it's a play that you cannot see, but as I hide my ugly face, you will be able to see the play that I'm talking about. It is motion mesh rewind. Now, I'm going to be calling this play only against man coverage. And boys, you are going to see just how insane a certain route is on this play. Once again, cluster formation here. We want it lined up with the cluster being to the wide side of the field. Now, the route in question that I talked about here that makes this play unbelievable is going to be this route here by the solo wide receiver. This is called the rebound route. I don't believe they put it in Madden before. I have not seen it before. This looks super unique. It looks like a C route, like a corner route, but as you can see, he kind of breaks over the middle like a drag route, takes a sharp cut towards the middle, and then darts towards the sideline. And you are going to see in this example, I'm not going to put any other hot routes on the field, except I'm probably just going to streak the tight end here because he's on an auto motion, and I'll show you the actual setup for this play here in a sec. But you're just going to watch and see here. Once again, Dante Thornton here. This is a 72 overall receiver. Watch what happens against man coverage. Did y'all like what you saw there? Do it again. Got pressured, but he got butt ass naked. Even the corner has outside leverage too. And this is such an amazing play to absolutely backbreak your opponents with if they're running man coverage. Like if your opponent's spamming that mid blitz, you hit him with this, granted you get time to throw the ball, you're gone. You're hitting your head on the goalpost for a touchdown. Now let me show you guys the setup that I like to run out of this play. Most of the time here, I'm actually gonna block the running back unless I know I'm not gonna be getting blitzed. But here we go. The setup is gonna look something like this. We're not gonna keep this route on the field. No chance in hell. We're going to put our tight end on a zig route. We are then going to go ahead and streak Xavier Worthy. And sorry for doing that. Didn't mean to do that. And then we are going to take our B receiver here and we're going to stem him all the way down. And you're going to see that this route here on the right, this little speed out that can't be hot routed, also torches man coverage as well. Now on that play, the B route didn't torch man, but Dante Thornton certainly did. I'll say this, if one route doesn't get open, the other one is probably going to get open. So once again, we do this. This is our setup. And if one route doesn't get open, the other one will. Pretty insane, right? Pretty insane. I'm going to try to get this B route to fry here. Hopefully we can on this example. And you see he does create a little bit of separation. It's obviously not as crazy as Dante Thornton, but he's creating separation. Big streak, block the running back. There's the setup. Cooks him. Absolutely freaking cooks him. Now you're thinking to yourself, what if your opponent, what if he comes out and shade down man? Which is a very popular way to play defense in this game. Well, go ahead and just demonstrate for you guys what happens if your opponent runs a little bit of shade down man against you in this play. We're actually going to press too. Now I will say that if they do press this, there's a better chance of it getting covered. Point that out there. Nothing's going to get open 100,000% of the time. It's just not how this game is coded. He still gets open though. Shade down man, pressed. Typically that X receiver is going to get absolutely pushed and shoved to the ground. Gets shade down man. Not against this play. Well, right there, he actually did. As you can see, once again, nothing is 100% consistent in this game. There's consistency, and then a lot of times there's inconsistency. We'll press, shade down man, pumps him. Look at that. Twice out of 3 reps, he has gotten open. Now, I want to take it an even step further on this play, boys. We're going to go ahead and we're going to route commit that X receiver to the outside. Now, if he gets blanketed this time, you'll understand. But this is route committed to the outside and shaded down. Okay, it actually did. Okay, that's the counter, boys. That's all you got to do is route committed to the outside and shade down. That's about it. But once again, here's the counter for you guys in this video. I'm route committing. I shade outside. We do a little bit of this on our play. That time he got open. Once again, nothing is 100% consistent in this game. Clearly, this shit is definitely not 100% consistent. So, you can expect us to beat man a good chunk of the time, but do not expect it to beat man 100% of the time. There's a reason why we have this play on the list, is because this route is so freaking good, and you're going to chase your opponent so damn fast out of man coverage. We now move on to play number 3, which actually is a play that I personally need to call more. We are in bunch tight end play in question. No, it is not the cheat tight end wheel. No, it is not whips or mesh. No, it is not any of these plays. It is actually the play on the far right. Cheat tight end hitch and go. And once we show the setup for this play, you guys are going to see that this is actually pretty familiar to a certain play that you have seen before, especially if you played at all Madden 25. You saw this play ran on you a ton. Once again, I want my bunch to be widened out, the wide side of the field, so we move the ball over to the right hash, so the bunch is to the left hash with more space. Take a look at this play and you're like, what the hell is this? What the hell why is this on the list? What could possibly be so good about this? What the fuck is this route by Brock Bow? Like, what the fuck is this? This looks insane. What is this? We have a curl route. Wow, what's so great about this? Just you guys wait. The setup of this play that I like the most, once again, is going to be looking pretty familiar to you guys if you played Madden 25, is going to go something like this. My X receiver, I'm going to put him on a speed out. Now, I always like to stem my speed outs all the way down. So we're to stem down our speed out all the way down. Look at this route here, boys. Look at this. This is the ever so popular return route, which once again, you are able to hot route this year. But we take a look here at this route. This is different from this route. Clearly, so we do this. I'm going to put the stem down out route again here. Now with this return route, guess what you can do? You can stem it. You can stem it all the way up. You can stem it all the way down, which is what I like to do. Now, I actually like to go ahead and when I stem it all the way down, I'm going to stem it up just once with the left stick. So I have it stemmed away all the way down, right? I can't stem it down any further. I'm going to go on my left stick on my controller and I'm going to stem it up one click with the left stick, just like that. So that way it can run a little bit more down the field rather than just cutting almost instantly. Then our B receiver, we're going to put on a slant and then we're going to put our tight end on a post route. This play look familiar, boys? Oh yeah. We have essentially recreated motion Y post from trips tight end flex in the bunch tight end. Now I will say motion Y post is better. The spacing of it is way better, but still, we're basically creating that play out of bunch tight end, which is amazing, which is why I need to start running this play more. I feel like I don't run this play as much because there's just so many other great plays, but this is once again an amazing play against pretty much everything. I mean, look at that. The slant, we could have thrown the slant right away. The return route, that's the main play, the main route that we're trying to hit on this. So once again, here's our setup. Once again, I'm going to take that Y route and I'm going to stem it up just once here. After we stem it all the way down, we're to stem it up just once, not one D-pad, one little notch like that with our left stick, and we snap the ball. Slant's open right away. We can throw that. That zig route obviously is going, or that return route is going to be open as well. Just once again, an insanely good. We've turned a play that looks like this into one of the most meta setups, at least in all of Madden 25, and it's actually really good here in Madden 26 as well. There's so much that your opponent, we're just absolutely flooding the middle of the field with so many routes that your opponent is going to have to use they're going to have to use that slant. They're going to have to use that post route on the tight end. It's just such a headache of a play to defend right here, which is why motion Y post was an absolute bitch to defend in Madden 25. Here we are. We're throwing it back a little bit with this play and we're having some fun with it. And we're putting our own twist out of it, out of bunch tight end. Once again, we stem all the way down the Y route. We stem it back up once with the left stick. We slant B, speed out, stem down all the way, the speed out, and then we put our tight end on a post. You could potentially stem the post route up once if you would like. This is probably something that I would probably do, is stem that post route up once just to create more space over the middle of the field for these routes to absolutely torch any sort of zone coverage, because we are just putting so much stress on the middle of the field. Now I'll also show this real quickly against man coverage as well. Once again, the play is cheat, tight end, hitch, and go. We'll run this against the simple cover one. Then send up the tight end. Oh well. There you can see the tight end post route. Something happened to where he got bumped like nuts. That's weird. And this up once with the D-pad, and we're good to go. Against man coverage, tight end post route is probably going to be a lot more open there. You see the other two routes actually did kind of get a little bit bagged there, but once again, we'll see if they get open here, as we know with consistency not being 100%. Slant route kind of got a little bit back. Once again, the post route against man coverage, that's going to be your route that you're going to look for down the field. Run this play a couple times, you can hit him with those underneath routes, and then you can hit him over the top in a good spot in the zone or man with that tight end post route. So there it is. Cheat, tight end, hitch, and go. Number 3 on the list. Coming in at number 2, we are in arguably the most popular offense in all Madden 26 at the competitive level so far. Gun Bunch X Nasty. No, we are not going to be breaking down halfback choice, which you can't see. Very, very good, very, very popular play. We're not going to be breaking that one down. We are actually going to be breaking down the play known as spacing switch. Once again, you're taking a look at this play and being like, what the hell? How is this possibly your number 2 favorite play in this entire playbook? All I'm gonna say is that running back table route you see there is special. It is arguably one of the best routes in this game, along with the good old drag route and the good old stem down corner, because it is something that you cannot hot route. And let's just go ahead and let's just show you guys here what I'm talking about, because we're actually just going to call cover 4 here really quick. Once again, this is a play that I would like to run mostly. I mean, you can run this against man zone. It's an everything beater. Once again, bunch is going to be aligned to the wide side of the field, and our setup out of this play is going to look something like this. I'm going to streak the X receiver. We're going to drag the A receiver, or the tight end, post the RB receiver, and then I'm going to return route B. This is a very, very popular concept that people like to run. You could also invert the post and the drag as well. Actually, I think this is what I like to do better. I like to do this. I like to post the tight end and then drag the RB receiver. But you can alternate. You can do this or this, or you can do this or this. It doesn't really matter which one you do. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to do this. Now, once again, you can see this good old running back table route. I'm going to hide my webcam here again. This table route comes stock on this play. This is what happens when you put your running back on a regular table route. You see the difference? There's the stock one. There's the hot routed one. The hot routed table route in this game sucks in terms of getting to the sideline. But the stock table route, as I did not mean to flip the formation. Oops, go back. The stock table route on this play is so amazingly good. And you'll see here when I compare the two, when in terms of like getting up the field, this route gets up the field. It is amazing what the difference is between this table route and the hot routed table route. Now, this table route you can find in so many formations and playbooks throughout the game. You can go through your own playbook and search through it. You're going to see that the table route, it looks like the arrow is pointing downwards. Once again, the hot routed table route, the arrow is pointed to the side. That's the main difference there. You want to look for the table routes from your running back with the arrow pointed the other way. You don't want your table routes to look like this, pointed straight to the sideline. So here I'll put my route combination that I like to run on the field like this. You will see that this table route just does such an insanely good job of getting up the field. The rack animation from this is the best rack animation any running back route in the game. And once again, they're gonna have to devote their attention to that route. That's chunk yardage from just a simple little table route. You can pick up 10, 15 yards by just running that route. Simple as that. We'll show the example of what the table route that's hot routed looks like. Now watch what, I'm gonna do this actually here, this setup. Watch what happens when we do this. You see that? You see the difference? He turns back for the ball and doesn't get any sort of yards after catch. But with the stock table route in this play, look what happens. He just, look at that. It's a night and day difference. We're picking up 10 yards on a check down route consistently from this play. It is incredible what this table route does for your offense. Look at that. That's the reason why this play is so good, because of that route alone. That route alone, you could spam this play if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend, but there you can see, like, they're going to have to devote a lot. They're going to have to put a hard flat out there. They might have to user it, which is, once again, if they user it, oh, your shit's going to be wide open over the middle of the field. Like that return route, look at that. If they user it, that's going to be butt freaking naked. If they user that, your drag route's probably going to be naked as well on the tight end. That table route also does an amazing job of clearing out zones as well. Pulls flats to the sideline, pulls hooks and whatnot to the opposite side of the field too. Just does an amazing job. And our DNs and coverage out of this play, which that never happens. So if that wasn't the case there, the tight end would have been butt naked. And then if you get the time here, you can see, well, the post route got blanketed. We got pressured there. The post route does get open against certain coverages right there. The CPU did a really good job of bagging it. Trust me, the post route by RB or the tight end or whoever it is that's on it is going to get open. And then the streak, if your opponent blows coverage, so you could probably throw the streak. Or if you're lucky enough to fit it in like quick, you can do that as well. But that table route, man, that table route is so good. It's well documented. This is arguably one of the best running back routes in the game, and for good reason. Once again, we'll show the example of just how bad the hot routed table route actually is in terms of just getting up the field. Like, look, that's awful, boys. That is awful. Do not hot route your running back to a table route on this play. Please, for the love of God, don't do it. You will destroy the mystique of this play. Leave that table route as it is. You will thank yourself for doing so. Once again, it's one of the best routes, not only from the running back perspective, but one of the best routes in the entire game is the table route from spacing switch. And now for my favorite play, the Jacksonville Jaguars playbook. Honestly, this really isn't like in any particular order. This is just the last play that I'm going to be breaking down for you guys here. Out of the tight doubles, and the play, I will once again have to hide my face, is called curl. Now, what I like to do out of this is probably the #1 play that I audible to when I want to audible around into different formations in this playbook. So once again, I come out in the cluster halfback strong, and I audible around to the bunch X nasty, the doubles, bunch tight end, even trips tight end as well. Now with this, you're gonna want to go ahead and actually have your cluster formation the short side of the field. So we're gonna come out, we're gonna flip our formation on the play call screen here. We're gonna call motion mesh. We already broke down. I'm just gonna call cover one hole, right? Now what we're gonna do is we're going to audible into the tight doubles, and that is going to go ahead and that is going to put our ever so popular sharp cutting corner route on the outside wide receiver. Guess what we're gonna do here, boys? We're gonna stem it all the way down, just like that. The rest of the play is gonna look like this. I like to go ahead and I either like to streak Y or I like to put Y on a slot fade. And with the slot fade, I probably will stem him up at least once. On the backside, I'm just going to simply post route our tight end. And then you can keep the running back on his table route if you want. You could put him on a wheel route, out route, block him. Doesn't really matter. We'll keep him on the table route. I wish this was the good table route. Unfortunately, it's not. It's the stock one. So this is something I'm never going to throw on this. The name of the game is this route right here, boys. Simple as that. Matthew Golden kind of was jumping there, and he didn't run the route cleanly. We'll try it like we'll go like this, and that's it. Now, once again, what's so good about this is that one play you can hit him with the sharp cutting corner route to one side of the field, and then the very next play you can hit him with it to the other side of the field. Once again, audible into it, curl, we stem it down, slot fade, post route. You're done. Snap the ball. Really is the name of the game in this game right now. Stem down, sharp cutting corner routes. And this formation has probably the most of them of any formation in the game. That's why, and just look at that. Which is why it just makes this playbook so lethal. This playbook is so, if you stuck around this late in the video, this is arguably the best playbook that I've ever used ever in any Madden game. And this game has only been out for like 2 weeks now. That is how good the Jacksonville Jaguars playbook is in Madden 26. Just such an this is like a custom playbook. This really is. Like if you wanted to create a custom playbook, this is damn near it. Just so many destructive plays, so many amazing formations. Once again, you could run 6 or 7 different meta formations in this playbook alone and have success running it. We didn't even get into any trips tight end shit out of this playbook. That is how good the Jacksonville Jaguars playbook is. I know I'm glazing because I am, but I'm being truthful, boys. Like this is just such an amazing playbook because of plays like these and the other plays that I've broken down here for you guys. Such a simplistic and easy way to get yards in this game. It's just audibling around, seeing what your opponent doesn't like, and then you just have the option. Your options are endless because you just have so much to go to, so much very, very tough things to stop in this playbook. Your opponent may be able to stop one thing from one formation, and then the very next play you go to another formation like bunch tight end or whatever, and you hit him with one of the plays that we just ran here, and you're picking up big yardage out of that. It's just I can't understate this enough how amazing this playbook is. I know once again there's so many great playbooks in this game, and shout out to EA once again for the amazing job they've done creating amazing playbooks for us to use on offense this year, especially last year too. But for me personally, this one takes the cake as being the best of them all in Madden 26. You guys want to see more breakdowns from me out of this playbook? Let me know down below in the comments section. If you enjoyed this type of content, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. I like doing these breakdowns for you guys. And once again, if you want to see more, comment down below. Let me know. Sound off. Do you guys want to see more of this? Do you want to see me break down the Jacksonville Jaguars playbook even further? Let me know. That's going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Go dominate on the virtual gridiron now. You're welcome. And we'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Hey, before you go, did you like what you saw in the video? If you did, consider leaving a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you really like what you saw, consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell icon to be notified each and every single time a video goes live here on the channel. Here's a couple other videos on my channel that you might like. Thanks for tuning in.